Two people start the exact same business on the same weekend. Same idea, a ChatGPT content agency. They both watch the same videos, read the same guides, put in the same hours. 6 weeks later, one person has 4 paying clients. The other is still sending cold messages into the void and getting ignored. The difference was not skill. It was not effort. It was not luck. One person picked local businesses. The other picked restaurants in their city. That one decision changed everything. Most people pick the wrong niche. That's what kills the business before it starts. Not the tools, not the outreach strategy, not the price. The niche. Today we're going through 7 specific niches where a ChatGPT content agency gains real traction fast, why each one works, what to charge, and what to watch out for. We'll also cover how to pick your first one if you're starting from scratch. Let's talk about why niche specificity matters before we get to the list, because if you skip this part, you'll keep second-guessing yourself every time you send an outreach message. First, your sample is more convincing. If you're pitching a restaurant owner and you show them a sample post for a law firm, they have to use their imagination. If you show them a post about a Friday night special with local ingredients and a behind-the-scenes shot of the line cook, that's not imagination. That's recognition. They see their own business in what you made. The sale is already happening. Second, your outreach gets sharper. When you understand one type of business deeply, you know their specific problems. You're not saying, I help businesses with content. You're saying, I help restaurants turn their slow Tuesday nights into content that fills those tables. That sentence works because it's specific. Specific language earns attention. Generic language gets deleted. Third, word of mouth stays in lanes. Industries talk to each other. Restaurants refer restaurants. Trainers refer trainers. If you do excellent work for one real estate agent, you're not waiting for a random referral. You're one introduction away from 3 more agents in the same market. Specialization makes that referral loop tight and fast. Before we get to the 7 niches, there are 3 things I look at when evaluating whether a niche is worth pursuing. 1. They have to have money to spend. A business doing $20,000 or more per month in revenue treats $300 to $500 a month as a line item, not a conversation. You want clients who can say yes without needing to reorganize their finances. 2. They have to be visibly bad at social media. If you can look at their Instagram and see a dead feed with low engagement and inconsistent posts, that's not a red flag. That's your pitch. You're solving a visible problem. 3. They have to be findable. You should be able to pull 50 leads with nothing more than Google Maps, Instagram, or LinkedIn. No paid tools, no databases. If you can find them in 20 minutes, you can build a prospect list in an afternoon. Now, the 7 niches. Local restaurants and cafes are the entry point for most people starting this business, and there's a good reason for that. Food content is emotional and visual in a way that most content is not. People follow restaurants because they want to feel something before they walk in. Most restaurant owners are running everything. In the kitchen at 6 a.m., locking the door at 11 p.m. Creating content is the last thing on their mind. You deliver 12 posts a month, dish features, behind-the-scenes moments, daily specials, local community angles. The rate sits at $350 to $450 a month. A busy restaurant doing $40,000 a month in revenue, $400 a month on content is 1% of revenue. That's a reasonable number to spend on anything that keeps customers coming back. The one thing to watch for is very small operations. A place doing under $500,000 annually may not have the margin to see the value. Look for restaurants that already have lines. Personal trainers and fitness studios are a different kind of sell. Fitness is identity. Clients don't just follow a gym, they follow their trainer personally. The content builds the relationship between sessions and keeps the trainer top of mind when someone is deciding whether to renew, upgrade, or refer a friend. Trainers are excellent at training. Writing captions and staying consistent on Instagram is not in their skill set, and they know it. You deliver motivational content, workout tips, transformation frameworks, class and program promotions. Solo trainers typically pay $300 to $400 a month. Studios with multiple staff will pay $400 to $600. The proof point is simple. One new client per month from better visibility pays for your service 3 times over. The one thing to watch for is solo trainers with very small followings, under 200 followers, where it's harder to demonstrate ROI quickly. Studios are a cleaner starting point. Real estate agents are one of the highest leverage niches on this list. High-income profession, actively looking for leads, almost universally terrible at marketing themselves. They know they should be posting. They know their listings are sitting with no organic reach. They never do anything about it. You step in with market updates, listing features, buyer and seller tips, local neighborhood content. Rate is $400 to $600 a month. Here's the number that makes this easy. One closed deal generates $5,000 to $15,000 in commission. Your monthly fee is rounding error on a single transaction. Agents understand this math. The one thing to check up front, agents at large brokerages often have brand guidelines that restrict what they can post. Confirm that before you start building anything. Beauty salons and med spas run on their booking calendar. When the calendar is full, business is good. When it drops, everything suffers. These businesses are heavily social media dependent for bookings, and the stylists are spending every working hour doing the service, not creating the content that fills the next appointment. You deliver before and after posts using client-provided photos, service spotlights, seasonal promotions, team introductions. Rate is $350 to $500 a month. The salons that do this right turn their Instagram into a booking engine. The ones that don't are hoping Google reviews carry them. The one thing to set up clearly from day one, you need them to send you photos. That system needs to be explicit in your onboarding or the content pipeline stalls. Financial advisors and accountants are a premium niche. They have money, they need content, and they almost universally hate the idea of marketing. The compliance dimension makes them nervous. What works here is educational content. Tax tips, retirement basics, market explainers, personal finance habits that provides genuine value without crossing into specific financial advice. Nothing that constitutes a recommendation. Pure education. The rate reflects the premium, $450 to $650 a month. One new client for a financial advisor can represent $2,000 to $10,000 a year in managed assets. Your fee is trivial against that math. The one thing you must spell out in writing before starting, you produce educational content, not financial advice. That line protects both of you, and it makes compliance-conscious advisors much more comfortable signing on. Local law firms are the highest-paying niche in this list and the most underserved. Lawyers are busy. Many of them consider marketing beneath the work. Referral pipelines are thinning in most markets. They have a problem and they don't have time to solve it themselves. What you deliver is legal education content, know your rights style breakdowns, FAQ format explanations of common situations, firm culture, community involvement. Rate is $500 to $750 a month. For a personal injury firm, one new client can mean thousands in legal fees. Your service is a rounding error. The same rule applies here as with financial advisors. Nothing that constitutes legal advice. Education only. That distinction needs to be in your agreement, and most attorneys will appreciate that you thought to put it there. Chiropractors and wellness clinics are a community-based repeat visit business. Patients tend to follow their provider personally. The practice owner is typically wearing every hat: doctor, admin, scheduler, and by default, marketer. What you deliver is wellness tips, patient education, practice culture, appointment promotions. Rate is $350 to $500 a month. The math. An average patient visit runs $50 to $150. 10 new patients from better visibility in the first month covers your fee. The one thing to watch is language. Don't make medical claims. Keep it informational and educational. Most practitioners are careful about this already, and they'll be relieved to work with someone who understands the boundary. Now, how do you pick your first one? Start with where you have genuine knowledge or real interest. If you've spent 5 years going to the gym and you understand trainers, start there. You'll build better samples faster and the conversations will feel natural. If you have no strong preference, start with restaurants. Easiest leads to find, clearest content need, no compliance concerns. You can build a sample, find 30 leads, and send your first 10 messages in a single day. Don't pick based on rate alone. Pick based on your ability to get the first meeting. A $400 client you can land in 2 weeks is worth more than a $700 client it takes 3 months to close. The first niche is not a permanent decision. Most people niche hop after 6 months once they have proof of concept. You'll learn more from your first 3 clients than from any amount of research. The goal right now is to pick one, build one sample, send 10 messages. That's the experiment. The Yield Lab method works in any of these 7 niches. The system doesn't change. The outreach process, client onboarding, and production workflow are identical across all of them. What changes is the prompt template and the angle in your first message. Once you have 2 or 3 clients, the thing that starts to matter is how fast you can produce good content consistently. That's where Jasper AI's brand voice feature becomes genuinely useful. It lets you lock in the voice for each client so the output is tight from draft 1, not after multiple rounds of editing. At 3 to 4 clients, it's the difference between 2 hours per client or 4. Worth looking into at that stage. Jasper.ai. One more thing. We're putting together a niche selection checklist that walks through this decision in under 10 minutes. It'll be linked in the description when it's ready. The niche is a decision, not a commitment. Pick one, build one sample, send 10 messages. Most people never get there because they're still researching. You now have more than enough to start. The next video covers how I'd build my first $1,000 with AI if I were starting today, completely from scratch. No audience, no clients, no portfolio. The link is on screen. If this was useful, subscribe. New system every Tuesday and Thursday.